Well, it's officially been 2 years with this view in the garage. It literally feels like yesterday. My wife and I flew out, drove this car 11 hours home, pulled in at 1 a.m. That was a long day, an exciting trip nonetheless, to take home my dream car, the Gallardo. So 2 years later, let's do a 2-year update. What has it been like the next year now that I've owned it on to year number 2? With that said, I ticked over 25,000 miles in this car. Since purchasing it, I've driven it over 8,000 miles, which is pretty decent. Been pretty consistent, averaging about 4,000 per year. And given, we have press cars, my wife's car, and for the most part, I had the Supra and then the Civic Type R alongside this. 4,000 miles a year is pretty decent in a non-daily driver. However, I drive this more than the RS3, quite honestly. So I use it quite a bit as my normal car, but a lot of it is just fun road trips because that's where this car shines. And while we can see it, there's one mod that I've done to the car doing the Lamborghini puddle lights, which was a $50 upgrade for the car. If you buy those from Lamborghini, they're like $500 to $800. So pick that up on Amazon. Those are just a fun little thing aside from the wing and the exhaust tips. That's all I've done as far as mods go. But with that said, let's go ahead and fire it up. So with the car out in the sunlight, it looks so good, especially in the white. I've added the Balboni stripe a couple months ago. I think that was a really cool way to just spice up the exterior. It's got window tint on it, and then of course the stripe onto the back. I do have the Superleggera style wing, which looks fantastic. And then we have Superleggera exhaust tips as well, just to add to that really nice style overall. So to move on to driving in the Gallardo. So how do I actually drive it? Because this isn't really your typical car. It's got a single clutch transmission. It drives very different than any dual clutch or even an automatic. First and foremost, this is an addicting car to drive. I adore every bit of it. But the way I drive it, sport mode, toggle the A into manual. That is 95% of how I drive this car, primarily because if you go into Corsa mode, the transmission is so aggressive, it's honestly a little too much. It feels like it's gonna break and it's just a little unsettling. It's wild, but I don't know, it's just a little too much. And then if you go into non-sport mode or anything, it's just a very slow transmission. So driving that I've done in this car, primarily mountain road trips and just going on back road trips near my house. Thankfully, I live out in the country pretty much, and I have some good loops where I can do a 1 hour loop, 40 miles or so, and have an absolute blast. It is a thrill. It really is the most fun car I've ever owned, the coolest car I've driven. I adore the car. I really, really love it. But the mountain trips are kind of where it's at for me, just going out there on the roads, not worrying about people or anything, just enjoying the car. It's not a race car, it's not something you want to push to the limits because the limits can get you really quickly. But it's a car that you can just enjoy redlining it without, pushing it too hard, just hearing the engine rev. That was just half throttle up to 7,000 even. Like, you don't have to pedal to the floor this car to enjoy it. So lots of mountain trips, lots of just random trips with it just to drive it. This is simply a car I bought. Well, I didn't know exactly what this car would entail when I bought it, but it's a car I bought just to drive and rack up the miles. I don't care at all the mileage I put on the car. I just drive it, fill it up when it's empty, and keep going. Luckily, it's got like a 400-mile range, so I don't have to fill it up that often. It just seems to always have gas in it, and it's always ready for the next adventure. So I like that aspect to it. Also, maintenance reliability. The only issue I've had with it is the oil level sensor was getting a little faulty. That goes in the rear sump tank, and my temperature and pressure gauge up on the dash were starting to go a little haywire. They'd have temperature all the way up to red, and and then they'd be all the way down at cold. Then the pressure would go full to 0. That was a little weird. I had the low oil light pop on with that as well. $300 sensor, it wasn't that hard to replace. Knocked that out in an afternoon when I changed the oil earlier this year. But that one sensor was the only thing. Again, this is a 14, so this car is well over a decade old at this point. Basic stuff like that. But that was the only problem I've ever had. I have had a check engine light a couple times pop up. It's always for an evap leak, and every single time it happens, either I had just filled up the car, maybe I didn't tighten the gas cap all the way, or if I haven't driven the car much and the gas has run a little low in a while, it's popped up. So clear it, take the gas cap off, tighten it, we're good to go. So no actual issues with the car. It's run perfectly fine. It's been a great car overall. So what is it like now owning this car for 2 years? So maintenance costs as well as other costs associated. I do the oil change myself. This car is so incredibly easy to work on. I would rather only ever work on my own cars. I don't like paying shops to do it for me, because no matter what shop it is, nobody's gonna put the same pride into your car as you. You know, I worked my butt off to be able to buy this car. I'm gonna maintain it because I know I'll do it right. With that said, it's a fortune to go to the Lamborghini dealer, and that's a long trip for me. Oil change is about 150 bucks. I can knock it out in a couple hours. I enjoy doing it, no big deal. Tires, I did new tires about 1.5 years ago. That was 1,500 bucks. Registration, insurance, and all that. It cost me about 1,500 bucks a year to register it. We pay property taxes in North Carolina every year on our cars, and then insurance is about $1,500 a year as well. It's not that expensive to insure cars in North Carolina, especially when you have multiple cars, houses, all that lumped into one. I pay in full annually, and I had the highest deductible. Perfect record as well. So it's nothing really expensive to keep on the road. Maybe 3,500 bucks a year just to keep it running, and then tires, you know, every several years or so. So then people's reaction. So owning a Lamborghini, obviously the name Lamborghini, most people know what that is. They know what it means. It's an expensive supercar. This car is under the radar for a supercar. I think given it's white, it doesn't really turn that many heads in the sense of a bright orange Aventador with doors that go up. So this doesn't appear that flashy. However, every time I drive it, I get people waving, thumbs ups, taking photos, and breaking their neck staring at it. So it certainly is a looker. People are constantly looking, but I think it's the good enough style to where it doesn't scream you're a millionaire, which you can buy these for 80 grand. So obviously you're not a millionaire if you own a first gen Gallardo or even a second gen Gallardo, obviously. So it's not too expensive to where people think that. I've never had any negative feedback or any negative interactions. It's been positive. A lot of people may not know it's an actual Lamborghini because, you know, not everybody knows supercars, but I'll get that comment. Some people will look at it and ask, like, is that one of those Lamborghini type of cars? And I'm like, well, it is a Lamborghini. It's actually a real Lamborghini. People are excited to see it. So it's been nothing but positive comments and reactions, which I like. Let's move on to kind of long term, because that might be the bulk of this video. So when I bought this, my wife and I were, I don't know, 1.5 years or so into our marriage. We love cars. We both are really into cars. We did so many road trips in the GTR and the Supras. You know, we like experiencing the road trips in the cool cars. When we bought this, we flew to New York and drove it 11 hours home. We had an absolute blast. So we really just enjoy doing things in the cars. From then, we continue to do car shows, mountain road trips left and right, and most of the mileage on this car is my wife and I going and exploring. I drove all the way to my hometown, which is like 400 or 500 mile round trip. You know, we did a fun road trip last November in this car. So that's where we've done a lot of the driving, is just going on road trips together. Now, we are 4 months into having a child. Unfortunately, we're kind of already going to start talking about the future plans for this car. This car has been a me car the last 4 months. My wife hasn't been in it one time. So unfortunately, the road trips, my wife and I exploring the area, you know, new areas together in this car is kind of behind us as a family of 3. You know, unfortunately, this isn't a 3-seater. It's not a McLaren F1. Couldn't pass up an opportunity to floor it in a straight line. Oh man. But yeah, it's not a 3-seater, so it's becoming a me car. So that does bring us to the next point of how long am I gonna own the car for? Well, honestly, I ordered a new car. So next spring, I have the ultimate dad car coming. It is a car I've always wanted to buy. It is custom ordered to my liking. This is kind of a first for me to custom order a car, like not just pick the boxes. It'll have a custom paint job, a unique interior. I'm not going to tell you what car it is, but I am very excited. It is also a lower price point car than this. So with that, it's going to have seats in the back. That way we can put the car seat in it and do the family road trips, because I am kind of missing that. I've done a lot of solo car shows, a lot of solo mountain trips with this car the last 4 months. Honestly, you can only do that so many times alone until it gets a little boring. I love this car. If I had unlimited money, I would just keep it, no big deal, but I don't have unlimited money. So I will be selling this car next spring. So with that said, if anyone is interested, let me know. Comment on the video or just send me a message on Instagram. By next spring, I'm going to be looking to sell the car to buy the next car, mainly because I have so much more fun doing these adventures in the cars with my wife. I just do. We are the same person, and we just love that. So doing it solo, it's getting a little boring. While I love the car, I don't see the use really having a 2-door, 2-seater car anymore. It just doesn't make much sense, given it's a lot of money for a car that is purely for me to just go have fun by myself in. And as a family now, you know, it just doesn't make much sense. So I'll be sad to see it go. This will be the one car, when people always ask, you know, do you miss your old cars? Do you miss this? This will be the one car I will miss it for sure. The other cars, not as much. This car I will always miss. But once I get into the next car and unfortunately part ways with this, I can then focus more on building our new house, which is something that we've been working towards for the last 2 years. And once we get into that house, I will have the space and we will live in the area that just fits our lifestyle better. We're not a fan of the cookie cutter lifestyle. We both grew up with woods in the backyard, an acre of land, and just kind of that privacy. And the lot that we bought has all of that. So I'm kind of shifting my focus. I've had our fun, you know, we were the dual income, no kids, you know, we bought all the crazy cars, and crazy for our level, I guess. But getting this, I paid this car off. The RS3's paid off. You know, I had the Supras, the Type R, those are paid off and been sold. So we're down to the RS3 in this car. But we've had our fun doing that to where now it's like, I want to take a step back, trade this in for the dad car that is a little bit cheaper, take some money, put it in the bank, and kind of keep saving up to build a house. So once we get to that new house, when will I then buy another supercar like this, and will I buy another Gallardo? Well, it depends, but it'll probably be, I don't know, 5 to 10 years later. Once my daughter can sit in the passenger seat, you can actually put car seats in the front seat of cars like this. I mean, obviously there's no back seats, but you can put car seats forward facing. The kid just has to be like 40 pounds or something. So once we get to that level in life, that's when I'm gonna buy another car like this. It'll either be a Gallardo or an R8, probably a Gen 2 R8. I probably would lean towards an R8 just to get something different. It's easier to drive, that my wife would be more comfortable taking by herself. Again, she's never driven this alone, she doesn't want to. You really gotta have the manual transmission understanding to enjoy driving this, and she would leave it in automatic mode, and this in automatic is just not a good car. You can't do anything quick in it, and that's just honestly unsafe. So that's kind of the plans with this car. Next spring, I'm probably gonna be saying goodbye, unless I all of a sudden make a ton of money and I can just build a new house without selling this. This car is gonna have to go to fund the next car. So that is kind of the update. It's been a rock solid, reliable car. Never had an issue. It is incredibly easy to maintain and work on by myself. I love working on it. It's such a simple, easy car. Like, it's just fun to tinker on, honestly. Little tiny nitpick things here and there, you can just have a lot of fun with. Oh man. But yeah, when the time comes to say goodbye to this, and then when the time comes to get back into something, V10 all day. The engine in this car is just a masterpiece. I'm not a fan of all the new stuff, going smaller engine. I love the old school character, the drama, the V10 sound, the power delivery. it is just so good. It really is. I love the car. I'm probably gonna cry myself to sleep when I do sell it. But as much as that will be a sad day, it's a material item. Cars come and go. It's just a toy. And I kind of have more fun like planning the cars to fit my lifestyle. You know, life changes obviously as you grow older, start a family, all the good stuff. So I'm excited for the next car to come. I can do some mods. It'll be insanely fast. It'll be fun. I'm not going to be a sad person at all when that time comes. I'll just miss this because this has so much nostalgia to me. This is the childhood dream car. But I can always buy another one in the future when it makes sense again to have a two-seater. Because I'm missing the family. I'm missing my wife being my co-pilot. I love that. Just her and I ripping through the mountains, doing a whole day trip in the car is the best. When we got married, we drove my GTR all the way to Michigan and back. 1,500 miles in a week for that car to be in the wedding, because we like that. Like, that was fun for us. So, yeah, that's, I guess, kind of the 2-year update. The car's been fine. I keep driving it. I drive it as much as I possibly can. I love every bit of it. I really wouldn't change anything about it. I love its character, its generation. To me, this is kind of the sweet spot of a supercar. Man, it is such a pure driving experience. The new supercars are all 1,000 horsepower, such useless power in my opinion. You can't use that on the street. This is just so good. Yeah. So anyway, in the future, obviously 7 months from now or so, I'll make a video about saying goodbye to all that stuff. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep enjoying it, racking up the miles. I don't care how many miles I put on it. I wanna hit 30. If I could hit 30,000 before I sell it, that would be actually super cool, to pretty much double the mileage in 2.5 years. I've driven this already more than any of the owners before me have driven it. So yeah, I love it. It's great. I would highly recommend the Gallardo. It is a little rough around the edges. After 6 hours, your back will get a little stiff. It's a little hard to get in and out of if you can't open your doors all the way, which the new house will have a way bigger garage. But I love it. This is just, it's awesome. If you want an old school supercar that actually is affordable to own, this is the way to go. It's just, it's awesome. So there you go, 2 years with the Gallardo. I'm having a lot of fun, and unfortunately, family stuff does take priority, and we will be on to the dad car next spring, on to new adventures, and then we'll get back into a supercar when the time comes. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.